Hey guys, today I'm going to make a recipe that's really trending right now, pudding in a jar. Want to know how it's done? But there's a little tip, okay? You have to follow exactly what I'm going to say here. Don't just do it any old way, all right? I don't want anything to go wrong with this recipe, okay? All right, let's get started, shall we? I'm going to give you the ingredients and show you what kind of jar I'm going to use. I'm going to make a super awesome caramel sauce. So write down what you'll need. 2 cans of sweetened condensed milk. Okay? Here's a little tip, cornstarch. I have 20 grams of cornstarch to give this pudding some structure. Don't worry, it won't taste like cornstarch, all right? To make the caramel, I have 280 grams of refined sugar. And here, look, 120 milliliters of water, okay? 6 eggs. And here, 650 milliliters of milk. First thing, I'm going to start by making this syrup. And then, guys, you just blend the rest of the ingredients in the blender. But let's start here. This syrup I'm going to teach you doesn't crystallize because I'm going to make it in a different way. I'm going to melt the sugar, okay? With half of it, right? Half of the water. So, I won't need to keep stirring the sugar. You're going to add the sugar with half of the water and let it reach the right point. You can't stir it, okay? Let's go. All the sugar in here, look. Half of the water, okay, guys? Look at this. At this point, you stir the sugar without turning on the heat. The stove is not on. Here, it's just to moisten the sugar. Try not to get it on the side so you don't risk having to clean the whole pan, okay? Look, after the sugar has dissolved, I still haven't turned on the heat. I'm stirring. You just make sure you haven't gotten any on the sides. And now, yes, I'm going to turn on the heat and leave it without stirring until it turns a caramel color. Then I'll add the rest of the water. Guys, look, it hasn't caramelized yet, but don't stir it, okay? It needs to start caramelizing, turning that caramel color here, the color you want to use for the flame. It's starting here, guys. Look, I do it like this, swirling it around so it can move. You can't use a spoon for now, okay? But it's almost reaching the color I want. I'm just going to lower the heat a little bit so I don't risk burning it and getting that bitter taste. Hey guys, it's ready here. I turned the heat way down. Be very careful now because I'm going to add the rest of the water, okay? Stay well back and always pour it in little by little from the side like this. Keep the heat really low and now just let it gently finish reaching the right consistency. Be patient as it slowly thickens. And here I've already turned off the heat. Look at this, guys. It didn't crystallize at all, right? It did caramelize, but look how beautiful it is. I turned off the heat and now I'm going to let it cool down a bit because it's extremely hot, okay? What you need to understand is that the container I'm going to use has to be one of these here. It's super resistant. It can go from the freezer to the microwave, so it's heat resistant, okay, guys? It can't be any other container. It's not just any container. Otherwise, it will melt in the oven, okay? And if it melts, don't come saying I taught you wrong. It has to be this one here. Look, microwave safe. It can go from the freezer to the microwave. I'm going to use this 140 milliliter container, okay? This little container right here, look. A small container, 140 milliliters, which will yield quite a lot, okay? So I'm just waiting for my caramel sauce to cool down a little so I can put it in here. Now I'm going to put the caramel sauce into the container, and it's still warm, okay? But let's go, look, I'm going to add at least 1 spoonful of sauce, or maybe a little more, right? Sauce is really good. Then I'll put it in the fridge so the sauce gets firmer at the bottom, which makes it easier to add the pudding later, okay? The tip is to put it in the fridge so the caramel gets firm at the bottom because when you add the pudding here, it won't mix with the sauce, okay? So let's do it. While the caramel is in there, right, cooling down a bit, I'm going to make the pudding, which is the mixture here. So everything goes into the blender now, look. Condensed milk. milk, then just blend it for 2 to 3 minutes. 2 minutes is enough. Now for each little piece, look, I'm going to cover it with aluminum foil, okay? Each covering it here, right? So it bakes faster later. Remember that I added a little bit of cornstarch, which will help, right? To make the cream firmer, okay? After everything is ready and sealed, I'm going to pour hot water underneath here, but do this inside the oven, okay guys? So you don't burn yourselves. I'm going to add a little water here, look, because it's going to bake in a water bath. So now it's going to bake at 180 degrees for about 40 minutes, okay? So put it in, do this inside your oven so you don't burn yourself. Just pour a little on the bottom, about a finger's width of water. I'm taking it there now. And in a bit, I'll show you guys. 40 minutes, preheated oven, 180 degrees. Guys, look at this pudding, nice and firm, okay? Pudim de poté is not meant to be taken out of the jar to eat. I only took it out here so you could see. But let me say, I'm about to talk about oven time. It came out of the oven here, and I took it to cool down. You can cover it and let it cool, and it stays nice and firm like this. And here I took it out of the little jar so you can see the texture of this pudding. You don't need to, when it's in the jar, you eat it right from the jar. So just look, what a wonderful texture, right, guys? Look at this. Well, now I'm going to talk a little bit about oven time, okay? To be honest with you, because I like to tell you everything exactly, it took more than 40 minutes, okay? Also, I had never made it in a jar before. This was my first time. And I was really worried, but it turned out great, guys. Look how beautiful this is. And when it's pudding in a jar, you can eat it right from the jar. You don't need to take it out, okay? Now, it took about an hour and a half on average. At 190, 200 degrees, just leave it in there. Don't take it out until it's fully baked. Why did it take longer? Because plastic is not a heat conductor. It's not like a regular baking pan, the kind we usually use to bake pudding, you know, the aluminum ones, right? So it took a little longer, but it worked out. I just took it out of the oven, and I could already tell it was much drier and firmer, right? I've already put it in the fridge. You can cover it, and it's already here, ready to eat, right? You can sell it too. It's a make and sell recipe. And I took it out for you all to see. Wow, look at this, guys. Let me tell you something, it's super tasty because I've already tried it and it's not overly sweet at all. It's a wonderful pudding. Make it, you can do it just the way I showed here. It'll turn out perfectly and the container won't melt at all. It's a great make and sell recipe. Now go ahead and try it. I want to see if it works out for you. But you can make it because my recipes always work out right. And I'm going to keep eating pudding here, pudding there. I'll just grab it right from the container. Oh, what a treat. See you in the next recipe, guys. Bye-bye.